All right. Well, we're here for the championship games for the Northeast Regional Tournament between Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, and Lawrence, Mass. We had a little technical difficulties here. We're having a lot of those this weekend. But as the players start to take the field and warm up, we actually have 3 players from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, all pitchers that have pitched throughout this tournament. And first is going to be Nick McDonald. Nick, great to have you here today.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
You know, I think the first question I'm going to ask you is, have you seen anyone hit that Percy's big blast thing out there in left field?
Sadly, I haven't.
What about Livingston, though? A little close, though, right?
Yeah, he poked one yesterday. I mean, he's as hot as can be right now. So.
Yeah, and he's a great hitter for your guys' team. So you pitched against Lawrence, Mass earlier in the tournament?
I did, yeah. Tough team.
Yeah,
very fun to play against, though.
Yeah, they're gonna look to try to play you guys tough today. Do you know who's on the mound today for you guys?
We have Mike Bean on the mound today. He's a very good arm for us. Throws a lot of strikes.
Nice.
Hopefully gonna get us a lot of outs, minimize any damage. Lawrence is one of the scrappiest teams I've ever seen. Like, they don't go away. So all we gotta do today is just minimize and keep him to as little runs as possible.
Okay, so. That sounds like a good game plan. And one of the questions I like to ask you young players is American Legion Baseball. Why choose that? You could have played travel ball. You could have done AAU. Why choose American Legion?
Like I said earlier, I mean, I built a really good relationship with some of the coaches before the season even started. And they got me hooked on the whole idea of playing Legion. I mean, representing a post. And then I got on this team, and it's been the most unbelievable summer I could have asked for.
Mm-hmm. And then you said you graduated from St. John's High School?
I did, yeah.
And where are you going to be going to college in the fall?
Bryant University, down in Rhode Island.
Okay, and you're going to be throwing?
I'll be throwing down there, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, McDonald, it was great to have you here.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
And we wish you the best of luck today.
Thank you.
All right, let's see Carson Hauben. We'll save McSweeney for last. Winning pitcher. All right, Hauben, great to have you here. It's Carson Hauben. You pitched earlier on in this tournament?
Yes, I came in to relieve Nick in the Lawrence game the other night.
Okay, and that was a thriller, right? 8 innings?
Oh, yeah. I lost my voice by the 4th, and that was one of the craziest games I've been a part of, and I was just extremely excited to get in at any time I could.
How do you feel facing this Lawrence team again?
Oh, we already know it's going to be a great game, and hopefully we only have to play one, but we know it's going to be a back and forth, and runs are going to be tough to come by for both teams, so we're going to try to get the job done here early and hope to come away with a win.
Nice. And, one of the questions I like to ask you guys, I asked McDonald, and I'm going to ask McSweeney. You could have played AAU. You could have played any kind of travel ball anywhere in Massachusetts, whatever you could have done, maybe outside of Massachusetts. Why choose Shrewsbury, Mass? Why play American Legion Baseball?
Oh, you can't get better coaches than these guys, and it's an unbelievable group of players and a crazy experience that it's nothing like I've ever been a part of. We got guys from St. John's and Shrewsbury that normally play against each other, and now coming together as a team, and I've never seen people gel like this quickly, so it's been awesome.
And I think you heard me say earlier, Nick and me are going to be calling the game. We actually met playing American Legion Baseball, and it's the same thing. We played against each other in high school. So my sophomore year, we went to the Connecticut State Championship for high school.
Yep.
His senior year, which was my junior year, they went to the championship, and then there was another team, Oxford. So Seymour, Derby, Oxford were together, and Oxford won it. So me and him lost the state championships, and then the other team won it, but we were all combined for Legion. So, and that's a friendship that, baseball's awesome. Friendships last forever, coaches, all of that. And so my last question is, are you going to college in the fall?
Yes, so I'll be throwing up at St. Anselm in New Hampshire.
St. Anselm, all right. That's awesome, man. So that's Carson Hauben. It's great to have you here. We wish you the best of luck today, and maybe we'll see you guys in the World Series on ESPN.
Hopefully so. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, good luck today. All right, and McSweeney steps in. He's got those nice glasses on, and the winning pitcher from yesterday. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
What do you think is going to be the outcome today?
I mean, obviously, I'm hoping for a 3-9-7 win. I mean, we played Lawrence earlier, as Carson and Nick said. They both pitched in that game. They did awesome. I mean, we know that Lawrence is kind of a small ball team. They like to run a lot, and hopefully we have the defense for it, which I think we have all year.
Yeah, and how did it feel yesterday getting that win against a tough Rhode Island team?
Yeah, no, they were a great team. They've been to Shelby before, so they know what it's like. They knew what they were fighting for. It obviously felt great to go into that game undefeated. But the original plan was to kind of have a staff day and pitch a few pitchers, 30 pitches, save arms. But they
Oh.
stuck with me, and I'm glad I came
Now let
through.
me ask you this.
Yep.
That Shrewsbury kid hit a 2-run home run in the first
Yeah.
inning, and it went down 3-0, and you're like, oh no. And then but you guys never gave up, and you pitched a complete game, correct?
Yeah, I did. I threw 103 pitches
Yeah, and
game.
that was unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Hats out to you. And
Thank you.
I'm gonna ask you the question I asked your two buddies. Baseball's changing. It's so much different than when I played. There's travel ball, AAU. You could have went anywhere else. Why play American Legion? Why play for Shrewsbury?
Yeah, I played AAU a lot when I was younger and a bunch of different summer ball programs, but I think if you asked anyone on this team, whether they're from Shrewsbury High, St. John's, we have a kid from Worcester Academy, I think we have a kid in college, Tyler Hopping, I think they'd all say the same, that the coaching staff is just amazing, and they know how to take a group of guys that maybe have never played together and just force them to become like a family just by the middle of the season, and we just took off from there, which is awesome.
Yeah. And my last question is, you just graduated high school, correct?
I did, yeah.
So
Shrewsbury
where
High.
are you going to college in the fall?
I'm going to be heading down to the University of South Carolina. I'll be trying out for the team, and I'm more shooting for the club team down there.
Okay. Well,
Big SEC school,
don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
you
might as
could
well take
always
a
walk
shot.
on.
Yeah.
There was a great player from where we're from, down Ansonia, Connecticut.
Mhm.
Girl Tierney Lawler. She actually walked on at UConn
Yeah,
and sat on the bench for UConn women's basketball.
that's awesome.
So and she was just a hustle player, worked her butt off, and that's all they care about, man.
Mhm.
And you keep getting good grades, and they'll want you on that team, man.
Oh, yeah.
And well, we wish you the best of luck today,
Thank you.
and good luck. It was
Appreciate
great
it.
to have you guys up here, and
It
we
was
wish you the
awesome to be
best
here.
of luck. And
Thank you very
we hope you
much.
get it done today.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna leave our GoPro camera on as the grounds crew starts to get this field ready for the Shrewsbury, Massachusetts team. As we said, it'll be the away team, Lawrence, Mass, taking on the home team, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. Shrewsbury is undefeated, so if they get the win today, or the game earlier at 1 o'clock, the tournament will be over and Lawrence will be defeated as they have one loss earlier in the tournament against Shrewsbury. If Lawrence Mass does win, though, it'll push game 2, and the winner of that game will be the champion and head down to Shelby for the American Legion World Series. I'm here with Nick Lemire. He'll be color commentating. We're up in the press booth at Hanover Insurance Park, and we'll be back. It's about 12:20. We'll be back around 1 o'clock to start this game. Well, we're just about to get underway as both coaches talked it over with the umpires. And we're going to let the public announcer call out the teams, and we'll be back as soon as the national anthem's over. This matchup is the Northeast Regional Championship between Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, and Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Batting third, the third baseman, number 19, Brian Guerrero. The first baseman, number 22, Christian Verona. The catcher, number 21, Henry Treco. The right fielder, number 9, Ivanson Batista. The center fielder, number 12, John Batista. The left fielder, number 2, Luis Colon. The designated hitter, number 13, Luis Mejia. And on the mound for Lawrence, the pitcher, Miguel Matos. Please welcome the Lawrence coaching staff and reserves. Now for the home team, Shrewsbury post 397. Leading off the left fielder, number 11, Sean Bunton. The center fielder, number 3, TJ Morguera. The first baseman, number 44, Matt Livingston. The designated hitter, number 24, John West. The right fielder, number 2, Mike Bonolo. The second baseman, number 5, Chris Wright. The catcher, number 23, Christian Siciliano. The third baseman, number 7, Tyler Hopping. The shortstop, number 10, Ryan Kamon. And on the mound for Shrewsbury, number 8, Mike Bean. Please welcome the Shrewsbury reserves and coaching staff to the field. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now send it down to Massachusetts Baseball Chairman, Dick Pastor.
As an American Legion player, coach, or official, I will keep the rules, keep faith with my teammates, keep my temper, keep myself fit, keep a stout heart in defeat, keep my pride under in victory, keep a sound soul, a clean mind, and a healthy body.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your caps, and direct your attention to the flag in right field for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you.
Well, we're back,
And
and this matchup is between Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, the home team, who will take the field right now, and Lawrence, Mass, the away team.
They conducted a raffle. I have been handed the 6 winners, and I will announce them now.
I guess they're doing a raffle on the
The
field right
first
now.
$1,000 winner is Bob Bonato. The second $1,000 is just the last name of Richardson.
So, Shrewsbury waiting to go out in the field as they finish up this raffle. But I'm Jim Vartelis, and I'm here with my good friend Nick Lemire.
How you doing today, Jimmy?
I'm doing great, Nick. Beautiful day here for baseball here at the College of Holy Cross, Hanover Insurance Park. And, you know, this is going to be a great matchup today. We got two teams that Lawrence, Mass has, you know, made their way all the way here, looking to try to defeat Shrewsbury, the host team, twice today to make it to the World Series. And Shrewsbury just needs to win 1 out of 2 today, and they would advance to Shelby. And, you know, we're going to have a great matchup today between Miguel Matos and Mike Bean. So, could be a pitcher's matchup. It could be an offensive battle. We don't know. Obviously, as the game has not started yet, we will figure out the mojo and the rhythm of this game as soon as it gets started. Hopefully we'll be able to tell what type of game this is. Umpires talking it over there at home plate. One thing I do notice, Nick, is the red, white, and blue base paths, bases.
Yeah, Jimmy, that it looks really cool out there. You know, this is American Legion baseball.
Yeah, and
Support our stars and stripes.
yeah, and Shrewsbury will take the field. And we're going to have Kebler Peralta leading it off. Nick, can we get that batting order for this Lawrence, Mass team?
Yeah, batting first, we have shortstop number 7, Kebler Peralta. Batting second, the second baseman number 11, Annabelle Pena. Batting third, the third baseman number 19, Brian Guerrero. Cleaning up, first base number 22, Christian Verona. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 21, Henry Chaco. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 9, Iverson Batista. Batting seventh, the center fielder, number 12, John Batista. Batting eighth, left fielder, number 2, Luis Colon. Batting ninth, the DH, number 13, Luis Mahaya. And then, like you said, Jim, we got pitching Miguel Matos.
Yep, and on the field now, the home team, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. As I said, Mike Bean, number 8, will be on the hill. Behind the plate, Christian Siciliano. From left to right, we have third baseman Tyler Hopping, number 7. Shortstop, number 10, Ryan Conant. Second baseman, Chris Wright, he's number 5. At first base, it'll be Matt Livingston, number 44. He's the big left-handed hitter who hit it out 372 yesterday. The left fielder, Sean Bunton. In center field, the shifty TJ Morgera. And in right field, it'll be Mike Bonolo. So we're about to get this game underway. As we said, this is the Northeast Regional Championship game. Shrewsbury will take the field first. They're the home team, so they'll get last ups in this game. And this Lawrence Mass team will come up. I will tell you this, Nick. I've seen both these teams play, and when Lawrence Mass gets on, they are shifty on the base paths. They like to be aggressive. They hit and run, and they do have some power.
You got to assume there's going to be a lot of that today here, you know, trying to get down to North Carolina, go play in the big dance.
Yeah, and this is going to be a fun one.
You would assume there's going to be a lot of swinging in this game. Try to get ahead early.
Yeah. I actually saw Lawrence Mass play New Hampshire, and I think it was Nashua, and Lawrence beat them 1-0 on a Kebler Peralta home run. I think Peralta's actually a switch hitter, Nick. He's batting from the left side, obviously, because of the righty. So if you see a lefty come in, he might switch over to the right side. So Peralta steps in now, and first pitch from Bean. Pitch outside, ball 1. And third baseman Tyler Hopping up on the grass, making sure Peralta doesn't lay one down here. That ball hit the right field, and Bonolo will camp underneath it, and that'll be the first out. So 2 pitches and 1 out. And if you're a pitcher, Mike Bean, you have 105 pitches. You know, you like to get those quick outs.
It's good to see that they're swinging the bat early, too.
Yeah, they're going to be aggressive, Nick, I'll tell you that. So there's 1 out. We're in the top of the first, and Anibal Pena, the second baseman, he'll step in now to face Bean. That pitch on the outside corner for a strike, so it's 0-1 now to Pena. Defense is all back on the grass. That curveball in the dirt, it'll even it out 1-1. You know, Nick, that highway out in left field, we were talking earlier, if you hit a home run out there, that's a bomb.
Yeah, it's got to be at least, you know, it's got to be like 450 feet. It's not that far if you think about it. You know,
Yeah.
It looks like you can almost throw the ball over there.
That one upstairs. Now Bean will fall behind 3-1. So 1 out, nobody on, and we're in the top of the first here in the Northeast Regional Championship. Pena with that open right-handed stance. The pitch from Bean. In there for a strike. It'll be full count now. And people starting to file in here. As you can see on the left side, the host team has a nice little crowd here. That ball hit over the shortstop's head, and that'll get in there for a single. TJ Morguera will throw it in quickly, so a 1-out single for Anibal Pena.
It's a good job protecting the plate. Getting the ball up the middle, right over the shortstop's head.
Yeah, that was a great piece of hitting there.
Like you said before, let's see what they do on the bases here. If they get a little aggressive early, or if they're going to keep them close.
Yep, and the lefty batter, Brian Guerrero, the 3-batter, will step in now. So 1 out, man on first. He shows bunt, and he throws it down. They got him. Great throw by Siciliano. So just like that, Nick, we said they're going to be aggressive, and Shrewsbury showing off that defensive cannon for their pitcher, or their catcher, excuse me. So just like that, now there's 2 outs, top of the first, and Guerrero up with nobody on now.
Got aggressive real early there. Unfortunately, just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, and that was a curveball inside, and, you know, great job by Siciliano.
Oh, yeah. That was a great throw. He put it right to the right side of the bag as the guys come to slide in.
That ball's hit up to right field, and Bonolo will circle around it, and that'll be an easy out. So 1, 2, 3. Well, excuse me, not 1, 2, 3. We had 1 hit, no errors, no runs scored, nobody left on, but a 1-out single was thrown out at second as Christian Siciliano makes a great throw. So we're going to head into the bottom of the first. We're still scoreless here in the Northeast Regional Tournament. I'm Jim Vartelis along with Nick Lemire, and we'll be here with Sporting News CT. We'll be back after these American Legion messages.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Life in the military.
All right, well, we're back, and Miguel Matos will take the mound here, and Sean Bunton will come up first. Nick, can we get the rest of that order?
Sure, Jim. As you said, playing left field, number 11, Sean Bunton's going to lead off the game here. Batting second, the center fielder, number 3, TJ Aguirre. Batting third, the first baseman, number 44, Matt Livingston. Cleaning up, the DH, number 24, John West. Batting fifth, right fielder, number 2, Mike Bonolo.
That curveball just missed.
Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 5, Chris Wright. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 23, Christian Siciliano. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 7, Tyler Hopping. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 10, Ryan Conant.
Well, it's even 1-1 as Sean Bunton, the lefty, steps in. He's the leadoff batter for this Shrewsbury, Massachusetts team, and I'm pretty sure he was like 3 for 4 yesterday. He got on a couple of times. That curveball's in there for a strike, so 1-2 now to the leadoff batter. So it's the bottom of the first, still scoreless.
Definitely looking for him to get a couple more hits today, I'm sure, huh, Jim?
Yeah, definitely. You always want to get the leadoff batter on. That curveball fouled down the right field line. And the clouds start to come in, so we'll get a little shade on the field here. The American flag proudly waving down in right field. The dimensions here, 385 in center, 372 in left and center field, left and right center field, and 313 down the corners. It's now 2-2 to Bunton.
You got short porches here in left and right field, so if you could pull one down the line, you got a chance to get it out of here.
Yeah, and that curveball hit up the middle, and it'll get past Pena. So a base hit. Sean Bunting starting it off, leadoff guy on for the Shrewsbury team. And yeah, Nick, we kind of talked about this earlier. Most of these teams, I'm assuming, same in Massachusetts, use wood bats all summer. And now we're in the Northeast Regional Tournament, and now you get that BB Corps certified metal bat, and it's just totally different. You hear that ping as they hit that ball.
Get a little more of an advantage, a little more pop.
Yeah, the pitchers definitely don't like that, though. So the lefty Matos will look at the runner, and it'll be tough for Bunting to get a good jump here as Matos is a lefty. He's able to look right at him at first base. That's Christian Verona holding him on. So big hole on the right side, though, if you could take it the other way. Third baseman up on the grass, and that second pitch from Matos is a strike, so it'll even it out 1-1.
That's the pitch that you wanted to hit right there in the gap, that outside pitch.
Yep. So no outs, man on first. Still scoreless here at Hanover Insurance Park. And he steps off and throws it, gets away. So Matos, great job throwing it over after he saw Bunton go a little early, and the throw from Verona to Peralta goes off his glove, and Bunton will be on second now with no outs. So runner in scoring position early for this Shrewsbury, Massachusetts team, and that'll be an error, I'm assuming, on Peralta because he dropped that ball.
Yeah, that ball beat him there.
And they show bunt. He lays it down. It goes back to the pitcher. He barehands it. Now he tries to throw, and he's safe. Put his hand on the bag. Wow, that was so close. It almost looked like Bunton slid past the bag, and he just reached for it. As that was a tough play for a lefty, Nick. Matos barehanded that.
You know, catcher should be yelling to him, go one.
Yeah, because you just need to get an out.
Yeah, because he had to spin around and then throw way off balance, and unfortunately, throw wasn't that bad, but he was able to slide in there safely. But almost came off the bag there as the third baseman tried to put the tag back down.
Yeah, now we see the Lawrence Mass coach trying to talk to the umpire, seeing if he saw anything different there. I don't think we're going to see a change of this one.
No, the third base umpire there
He was right in front of
He
it.
was right in front of her. He's pointing down to the bag. He was on top of that.
Yeah.
Much better view than we have from up here.
Yep, so we're going to see that's going to be another error, Nick. So
It's not how you want to start a game.
TJ Morgera bunts it. So it's a bunt E1. And now Matt Livingston, the big lefty who hit a home run out yesterday. I think he walked twice as well. He fouls that first pitch off down the left field line. So now first and third, no outs, and Shrewsbury, Mass knocking on the door. It looks like the middle infielders will still play a little double play depth. They're about halfway, and the corners are up.
It's early in the game. You still want to get those 2 outs. Let
Yeah.
that run come in. You know, then you're only down 1 run. You got 2
Yeah, you
outs
got to
here.
stop the bleeding here.
Yeah.
But Livingston really hot in this tournament. So the 3-batter up for Shrewsbury, and it's now 1-1, as that one was a ball. Matos from the stretch. He leg kicks and curveball outside, blocked by Checo. So now it's 2-1.
You don't want to fall behind here on the 3-batter. Then you got the cleanup guy coming up next. It would be bases loaded at that point.
Yeah, definitely don't want to walk him here and load the bases with no outs. That ball hit the deep right center field. Looks like Batista will catch it, but not before. Bunton's able to tag, and that's going to be a sac fly. So Livingston does his job, and this Shrewsbury, Massachusetts team gets 1 run.
It's a great piece of hitting. Right there, that's what you want to do. You want to put the ball as far out into the outfield as you could. Get that guy from third base to come in.
Yep. Great piece of hitting there.
And then the man on first there, you got to watch that throw coming in because you never know. You might be able to take second base on there, too.
Yeah. And he goes, and now they try to do the same thing. This time they'll get him, though.
Nope, that was a balk, Jim.
They're going to call a balk. Wow.
It did look like he stepped towards the plate.
Yeah.
I actually was calling it myself up here. The umpire
Wow, so we're going to have a balk here as Matos tries to pick off. Home plate umpire is going to call a balk here, and now Morgera will get second.
That first pickoff he did on Bunton, the leadoff guy, he did it properly. He stepped towards first base. This time, a little confused there. He was in between.
Yeah, he saw him going, was going towards the plate, then tried to go to first.
Yeah.
So Morgera will be on second. There's 1 out here for the big John West. He hasn't had a pitch thrown to him. It's still 0-0. 1 out, 1-0. That ball hit the center field, and it looks like Morgera is going to tag. Ivanson Batista will come on and try to throw it out, but that one will be short, cut off there by Guerrero. Let's update our scoreboard here. It is 1-0 Shrewsbury, Mass, as they're able to score on a sac fly by Matt Livingston. Mike Bonolo, the right fielder and left-handed hitter, will step in now. There's 2 outs, man on third. That curveball outside just misses, 1-0.
We have a decent crowd here today. We're coming out for the championship game. Find out who's going down to Carolina.
Yeah, this will be big. Both teams looking to try to get down there as Lawrence facing elimination. That was popped up on the infield, and it looks like the first baseman will grab that. That's Verona, so they're able to get out of that one with only 1 run. So on 1 hit, 1 error, 1 run, 1 man left on base. Shrewsbury, Mass able to get a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. So we're going to head into the top of the second here at Hanover Insurance Park, and we'll be back after these important American Legion messages.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice, and for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America.
So we're back here. It's Jim Vartelis and Nick Lemire. We're calling this game from Hanover Insurance Park, perched up behind home plate in the press box here. Beautiful day for baseball, and now Lawrence Mass will try to tie up this game. That ball hit to the shortstop. He'll backhand it. That's Conant, and he'll toss it over to Livingston. They're going to say he's safe. Wow, and you know, that was a tough one there. That's going to be an infield single, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would give him a single on that.
And Verona able to start it off in the top of the second here with an infield single.
Shortstop did a great job at stopping that ball. Try to make the off-balance throw. It's not enough juice on the throw over, but great play all around.
That's hard when you backhand it in the hole. So now Henry Chaco, the catcher, will step in, and he's got that open right-handed stance. He tries to bunt, but that's foul down into the first base dugout. As one of his teammates flips that ball back in. And Tyler Hopping will now move up on the grass. So we have seen a little bit of small ball here from Lawrence.
We have. They tried the bunt and run last time, but he pulled back. Ended up throwing him out at second base.
Yep. So Verona leads off this inning with an infield single. He's on first. That ball way over Chaco's head.
Almost behind him.
Yeah. And as you said earlier during the break, Nick, if you look out in the left field, that traffic starting to pick up now, that midday Sunday traffic. That ball fouled off into the net. So now it'd be 1-2 to Chaco. And just a really cool scene here. You know, I've never been here before this tournament, and definitely one for the books. Look at that American flag finally not wrapped around that pole, and it proudly waves. So a little wind out there if you're an outfielder, and Bean will try to pick off there, and Verona back standing up. So 1-2 now, no outs, man on first, and the score 1-0. Shrewsbury leads Lawrence Mass. As both teams, the two teams from Massachusetts. When we started, that ground ball is hit to right. He'll flip it over to Conant, and they'll try to get the double play, but safe. So that's a fielder's choice. Mark that 4-6. And now Chaco will be on first base with 1 out, as Ivanson Batista, the lefty, will step in now. And as I was saying, both Massachusetts teams making it here to the championship. It started off with Maine, the River Dogs, Nashua, New Hampshire, Cumberland, Rhode Island, Stamford, Connecticut, Southern Connecticut, and of course these two teams. And these two, the last teams in this Northeast Regional Tournament, as Bean keeps Chaco honest over there, picking off as he has his back turned to first base. Unlike Matos, which gets to look at those runners. And the pitch from Bean. Swung on, dribbled down the left field line, and Tyler Hopping, T-Hop, will grab that one foul.
That was good by Hopping there. I was watching that ball. It looked like it was going to come back into fair territory. Whenever you got those borderline balls, you have to go after that in foul territory. Otherwise, you'll have man on first and second base if that ball comes back into play.
Mm-hmm. You're right. So now it's 1-1 to Ivanson Batista, and that pitch inside, ball 2. So Shrewsbury able to get a couple base running advantages in that first inning, and he'll step off now. They're going to say he balked.
How often do you see 2 balks in a game?
Not often, Nick. And now, as I said, they were able to advance, but TJ Morgera never scored the last inning as he got stranded on third, but Sean Bunton was able to steal, advance on there, and that a big cut by Batista, and he swings on and misses, evens it out 2-2.
Almost looked like a changeup there. You know, Bean's throwing the ball pretty hard.
Yeah.
That would look a little off speed, make batter a little off balance.
And Bean from the stretch, that's popped up to center field. Morgera will catch it, and let's see if he makes the throw to third, and Checo fakes it, and it's going to be cut off. Well, not cut off, go all the way to third, and not able to advance there, so now 2 outs. Morgera with that strong throw in as he knew that Checo might try to tag up. And now John Batista, I'm assuming they're brothers, Ivanson and John.
You would assume so. Right?
Yeah. You never know, though.
I
You
know.
don't want to assume, but.
You know, they bat 6-7 back-to-back. Then
Yeah.
they play center and right field.
Yo, bro, come on, get a hit before I go up there. That's what he's saying. So that pitch outside, it's 1-0. So 2 outs, man on second. That's Henry Checo on second base. And now John Batista will try to hit that ball in a gap somewhere and try to tie this game up. That ball hit the left center gap, and Morgera will camp underneath it, and Shrewsbury out of it. So a runner gets on to lead off, and there was 1 hit, no errors, no runs scored, and 1 man left on base. We'll be heading into the bottom of the second as Shrewsbury Mass tries to add on to that 1-0 lead. I'm Jim Vartelis here with Nick Lemire with Sporting News CT, and we'll be back after these important American Legion messages.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find
2-1, and we're back now as the Shrewsbury team comes up in the bottom of the second now. Chris Wright, the second baseman, will step in. The pitch from Matos. Inside, ball 1.
Chris Wright's doing a pretty good job in this tournament so far. He's batting .313. He's had 16 at-bats, 5 hits. No extra bases.
That ball hit past the third baseman, and Guerrera dives for it, but Chris Wright able to start it off. So this Shrewsbury team starting off both innings with runners on, Nick, and
it's absolutely crucial, especially in a championship game. You got to get runners on. You got to move them over, and they're succeeding at that, and that's why they're leading here, only by 1, but nonetheless.
And this will be Christian Siciliano, the catcher. He'll step in now. He fouls that one off. Catcher Checo looks a little shooken up here. He'll walk
like
it off.
Him on the leg there.
Yeah, he's thumbing, giving the thumbs up. He's okay. You know, if you're runners here today for Shrewsbury, it's just so difficult with Matos, the lefty, looking right at you. And, you know, that's why you like a lefty pitcher, Nick, because he always has that look down right at first base, able to check runners and high kicks and pitches. That curveball over there. So it'll be 0-2 now as Siciliano falls behind. And you got to think if Siciliano didn't make that great throw in the first inning, this game could be totally different.
Very well could be.
And the pitch from Matos on the outside corner, good waste.
Yeah, it looked like he hit his spot.
You never want to throw a
Jaco was happy with that.
great pitch 0-2 because you become more aggressive as a hitter. You're trying to protect that plate. Matos will head nod, leg kick, and curveball upstairs, 2-2. So no outs here. Chris Wright on first base. Shrewsbury leads 1-0, and Christian Siciliano will look to add on here and try to move the runner over. And he'll call timeout, though, at the plate.
Yeah, as long as Matos is still in this game, it's going to be tough for Shrewsbury on the bases, you know, especially on first base. Can't get that big of a lead. They did attempt that steal in the first inning. They were successful because the shortstop missed the ball. But
Yep. That ball hit down the right field line. It'll be foul and into the bleachers. And you know, Nick, this place is unbelievable. You know,
this is a great facility
we
here.
we walked around earlier and got to check it off. Kind of went out on the field, and that ball hit at the second baseman Pena. He might only have one play. Yeah, he's going to go to first. So Siciliano able to do his job there. That'll be a 4-3. So he moves right over to second. And, you know, we checked out the baseball field, got to go step out in right field. We went and checked out the Holy Cross football field, kind of walked around campus, and a beautiful campus here at the College of Holy Cross.
The landscaping here is absolutely immaculate. It's beautiful.
A lot of stairs.
There's a lot of stairs. You definitely stay in shape here.
That ball hit out to center field, and John Batista will camp under it. Let's see if Wright tries to go. He's going to fake the tag, and Peralta will cut that one off. But yeah, Nick, this place is pretty cool out here. Worcester, Massachusetts. So now 2 outs, man on second, and the 9-batter Ryan Conant will step in. That was Tyler Hopping who flew out to center field, and that ball, curveball in the dirt, and the umpire will check if he swung because he kind of half swing there, and they say he didn't, so it'll be ball 1. And Matos looks in now as his back turned to third base, so a little harder to pick off now. That ball hit the left field, and looks like Luis Colon will camp underneath that and make the catch. So 1 hit, no errors, no runs, and 1 man left on base. And this Lawrence, Massachusetts team is going to try to come up in the 3rd inning and chip away or tie up this game, maybe take a lead. But so far, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts leads 1-0. We're here with Sporting News CT, and we'll be back in the top of the 3rd after these American Legion messages.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2.
Well, we're back here in the top of the 3rd as Lawrence Mass comes up now, and Mike Bean still on the mound for Shrewsbury. It'll be 8-9-1 here for this Lawrence Mass team. Luis Colon, Luis Mejia, and Kebler Peralta.
We got the bottom of the order here. Let's see if they can get on base, come around the top here. And
yeah, and you see Tyler Hopping up on the grass, making sure the lefty doesn't bunt it. And Livingston will go to his right and throw it over to Bean, and he drops it. So an error on the pitcher.
I would say so. That was a pretty good throw. He led him to the bag.
Yep.
That's a tough play to make. You know, the pitcher you're running over, you're watching the ball, you really don't see the bag. So at the last second, you try to look at the bag before you catch the ball, and
Yep.
then you miss it.
You know what you have to do though, Nick? He kind of ran on a straight line from the mound
Yep.
to first base. You need to round that
Yep.
and
come up the line.
and come up the line and touch the bag, because that pitch is swung on and missed by Luis Mejia. But
And it's
so
safer
now,
that way too, because
yeah,
you know
you're
you
not
got
going to
the
run
runner.
across the line and maybe run into the runner. You always have that in the back of your mind as you're trying to cover the bag. But Mejia will step in now. He's the DH, and he has one guy on, so maybe a second leadoff batter here in that pitch on the outside corner for a strike. He falls behind 0-2. You got to think Cologne's got speed, though, Nick. He's the left fielder.
Yeah, he looks like he's got speed.
That ball blocked in the dirt by Siciliano. Great job. So 1-2 as they waste that one.
It'll be interesting to see if they do anything on the bases here. Send the man.
Yeah, and you know,
he's been keeping them close.
Lawrence Mass has had a guy on every inning here, so you know, last inning they let off with that Verona single.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
can't get him around.
Yeah, hopefully the top of the order here for Lawrence Mass. When that one fouled straight back as Mejia fights and battles here at the plate.
Ball hit to the outfield. I feel like Cologne's going to be able to round second and head for third.
Yeah.
That'll put them in a really great spot.
He looks like he has a decent lead over there, not getting too much. That curveball outside, and Siciliano doing a great job behind the plate today. Already threw out one guy, so you got to think that's in the back of their mind too.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a really good arm behind the dish. He's getting the ball there on a line, throwing it to the right side of the bag. The guy's coming in to slide.
That ball hit up the middle, and the second baseman will dive, and it's like Nick said, oh, he will be held up there. TJ Morgera gets that in so fast, and
he did.
Chris
He really
Wright
didn't take
dove
a
for
big
that
bump.
one. Did the pitcher touch that at all?
It looked like it hit off his glove.
Off
Yeah,
his
it
glove,
may have
right?
deflected a little bit more up the middle.
So Bean deflects that into right center field, just gets by the second baseman, so it's probably going to be a base hit. I think it is. No error up there. So our official scorer is Dave Greenleaf. He's in the press box, and now the lefty Peralta will come in, and he shows bunt. Pulls back, though, as Livingston wheels down and tries to cover as top Tyler Hopping is anchoring on third.
Looks like Hopping's coming in now, too.
Yeah, I don't agree with that,
Me
Nick.
neither. You have no one covering third base. Oh,
Yeah,
the shortstop's going over.
That ball hit to the second baseman. Are they going to try to turn two? They are. They just get one there.
That looked like it was a designed play, Jim. You know, the shortstop's hanging out in his normal position, but then as Bean's coming to the plate, he's coming back over to third base to cover as the third baseman Hopping's coming in.
Yeah. Looks like the GM Frank will come out here and talk with the umpires, but that's a fielder's choice for Peralta if you're keeping score.
Wonder what they're talking about out there.
I don't know.
I didn't see anything too controversial there.
Maybe if he took out
Slide
the
it, yeah,
slider
bad slide or
avoid.
something, yeah.
So a fielder's choice, a ball hit up the middle or to the second baseman from Peralta will leave Peralta on first with speed as Mejia is canceled out, and Cologne will move to third. So first and third, one out here for Lawrence Mass as the second batter in the order, Pena, will step in. He base hitted or hit a single his first time up, so he's 1 for 1 on the day.
Base hit ties the game up.
Yeah. So the pitch from Bean, he tries to pick off though.
Got to be careful with those pickoff throws. You don't want to overthrow the first baseman. You got a guy in third. He's not taking that big of a lead.
So there's one out, first and third. Scores 1-0 here in the top of the third. Shrewsbury leads 1-0, but Lawrence Mass knocking at the door. A lot more ways to score a runner from third than there is from second, Nick, and all Pena needs to do here is hit a deep ball to the outfield. The runner goes, and they'll cut that one off by the shortstop. Siciliano throws it to Conant.
I remember that play. You know, the shortstop comes in, you cut it off. I've maybe only seen that work one time, where the guy at third comes home.
I saw it done earlier on in the tournament in Connecticut, Nick, and when they do that, it's a pretty play, a 2-6-2. You don't see it very often.
See, I was always the catcher. I didn't care. I'm throwing the ball to second. I'm getting him out, and then you got to trust your shortstop. If that third baseman goes, make a good throw back to me.
Yeah. That ball swung on and missed. Big cut from Pena. So it's 2-1 now, 1 out. Second and third now as Peralta able to steal. He's speedy, I'll tell you that. A lot of speed on this Lawrence Mass team. That ball in the outside corner. Strike 2, so it's 2-2, 1 out. Second and third as Lawrence Mass knocking at the door on a 1-0 deficit. They're trying to even it up, and that ball hitting the gap. It'll get past Conant, and they're going to send Peralta, and it's bobbled in left field by Sean Bunton, and 2 runs score.
If Bunton didn't have that little
there would have been a close play.
That would have been a really close play because it looks like he's got a really good arm out there, and he's fairly shallow. But great running on the base pads. You got to be aggressive.
Yeah, so
they
they
have 1 out.
It's going to be a 2 RBI single for Pena.
Yeah. Just like that, they take the lead.
Yep. And let's update our scoreboard. So it's now 2-1. Lawrence Mass now leads in the top of the third, and the lefty hitter Brian Guerrero will step in. He flew out to right his last time up, and he shows bunt with 1 out, and he slaps it, hits it to the shortstop, and now they're going to try to turn a double play. And they're going to say he's safe.
He's fast, huh?
Yeah, they got speed. And Pena breaks it up at second, and Conant not able to throw it over to Livingston, so a fielder's choice. Christian Verona, the 4-batter, will step in now with 2 outs. So
he had a base hit last inning.
Yeah, he's 1 for 1 on the day. That curveball hit down the left field line. That's going to be in the corner, and that's Guerrero grounding, and he's going to get all the way in from first. So Guerrero goes first to third, or first to home, excuse me, on a Verona double. So an RBI double by Christian Verona, and now a 3-1 lead by Lawrence Mass.
The bats are coming alive here for this Lawrence team, Jim.
Yeah, and if you're Bean here, you just need to take a deep breath.
Yep, deep breath.
This is your 1 bad inning.
You have 2 outs. Don't worry about the guy on second base. Focus on number 21 here up at the plate, and then get your out.
Yeah, and Henry Chaco, the catcher, he'll step in. He grounded out he grounded into a fielder's choice, I'm pretty sure. It was 4-6.
Yeah, and then he moved over on the balk.
Yep. So now a man on second, that's Christian Verona. If you just tuned in, he had a double down the left field line. That ball popped over our press box. So now 0-2, he falls behind, but 2 outs. It's now 3-1 Lawrence Mass over Shrewsbury. So Shrewsbury takes a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first, and Lawrence Mass now scores 3. So that ball popped up. Looks like the second baseman, Chris Wright, is going to backpedal, and wow. The run scores, though. The run's going to score, and man, that's why you never backpedal.
Nope.
And Chris Wright falls down as that ball was in shallow right center field. The outfielder is playing so deep, not able to get to the ball, and Wright falls down, and they throw it in and are able to get Checo out at second.
We'll have to see how they officially score that.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to mark that. I think they might argue. He didn't touch it, so
no, yeah.
I think let's ask our official scorer, Dave Greenleaf, before we go to break. Dave, is that a single? So it is going to be a single. So Mark Chaco down for a RBI single, and he was thrown out at second. So now Lawrence Mass takes a 4-1 lead in the top of the third. We're heading to the bottom of the third as Lawrence Mass tries to fend off Shrewsbury as they're undefeated, and Shrewsbury will chip away. I know they don't give up without a fight. So I'm Jim Vartels with Nick Lemire, And we're here with Sporting News CT. We'll be back after these American Legion messages.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Well, we're back here, and if you're just tuning in, Lawrence, Mass able to score 4 runs in the top of the 3rd, and now the leadoff batter, Sean Bunton, will step in the bottom of the 3rd for this Shrewsbury, Massachusetts team. The 3rd baseman, Guerrero, up on the grass. That ball hit to the shortstop, Peralta. He's going to vacuum that one up, throw it across the diamond, and wow, Verona drops it, so that'll be an E3 to start off the bottom of the 3rd. So if you're this Lawrence, Mass team and you're Matos, you get that ground ball, and I kind of want to get that first out, but now the leadoff batter on, and TJ Morgera, excuse me, he bunted and was able to get on by an error by the pitcher the first time up, so he's 0 for 1, but we'll see what he does here. He's always aggressive at the plate. That pitch low, ball 1. Oh, I don't know. The scoreboard just put up a strike. I didn't hear anything from the umpire. Did you?
No, I thought that was a ball myself.
Yeah, we'll see. Sometimes back. Oh,
I'm yelling. Back into your baseball days.
I'm yelling back because Matos picks off.
You know, it's tough. You play baseball for so long, and it's a habit. You know.
You're right, Nick.
It's tough to shake that.
I've been watching Matos kick now because that foul tipped, and the runner will have to go back. The thing is, like earlier in the game, Matos tried to pick off.
Yeah.
He got them, but they made an error, and then he was called for the balk. So now I'm really, really watching him try to pick off there, because there is that difference between going to the plate and then trying to pick off and actually picking off.
And he's been doing a really good job at hiding it. Like that last one,
you could tell.
Was more obvious.
Yeah,
that's
why I was like, back. You know, and I coach JV baseball, and one of my big things was like, I'm coaching third base, and I'm not even in the dugout, and I'd be screaming back, and my kid's in the dugout, as that one's kind of noticeable, and he tries to pick off, keeping the leadoff speedy Bunton honest, but I'd be yelling to my guys like, are you kidding me? I'm the only one yelling back. You know what I mean? And you always, that ball hit to Pena, the second baseman. He'll flip it over to Peralta. They'll try to turn a double play, and safe at first. So Verona scoops that one up, and they're able to get one out there. So a fielder's choice, mark that 4-6. And one out now, bottom of the 3rd, and TJ Morgera will be on first.
That was a great play. The way Peralta came across the bag there, had enough of it, making a nice throw over to first base. It was in the dirt, but, you know,
you almost think if, you know, I know that ball was on line from Pena, but if he had kind of just turned and actually thrown it instead of backhanding it, maybe you would have had a little more time, quicker throw, as a backhand is a little slower to get there. But the big Livingston will step in now, and he's got power. He could change that, hits him. So inside curveball hits him. He'll flip his shin guard over to the batter, the bat boy. So now, first and second, one out. Shrewsbury looking to chip away here. The big DH John West will step in now.
Yeah, he flew out to center field back in the first inning.
Now West calls time. He'll step out. Matos taking a little too much time, making sure to check all those runners.
Yeah, they got the lead now. They're up by 3 runs. You got the tying runs at the plate, so you really want.
And he goes, Morguera. Wow, and you know what? Nick, I was going to say that. With the third baseman, Guerrero, so far back. And look at Livingston even to take second there.
Yep.
He was so far back, and it's so hard for Matos with his back turned. It's not like a righty.
And that looked like an off-speed pitch. And then Chaco, great throw down at third base, just unfortunately couldn't get him.
Yeah, not in time. So now second and third, John West up. That ball dribbled down the left field line into the third base dugout, and that'll be 1-1 now to John West. So there's one out. Second and third. Livingston on second. Morguera on third.
The Shrewsbury team is all up on the fence now. They're a little excited. Got man third, second base. You only got one out. You got your big man up at the plate.
Yep. Dribbled again down the left field line, and that'll be foul. So 1-2 to West. He's falling behind. This is a big at bat here for Matos.
Put the ball on the ground to the right side or into the outfield somewhere.
Yep.
Get your run.
The pitch. Curveball low and outside 2-2.
Matos, he's trying to pitch around these. Well, we saw when Livingston was up there, first pitch curveball, just he hit him. But you don't want to give these guys anything too good.
Yep, you're right. John West calls time. So 2-2, one out. Man on second and third. It's a 4-1 ball game here as Lawrence Mass tacked on 4 in the top of the third, and the pitch from Matos. That ball hit to the third baseman, and he's going to go home with it. And they catch him. That's Morguera tagged out at home. Great job by Guerrero, noticing that TJ Morguera took off at the swing of the bat. And
see, on a play like that, when you're the runner on third base, your coach is always telling you, anything hit to the left side, you got to see where the ball is. That ball was hit hard to the third baseman. I mean, he had the ball before he even started taking off to home.
Yep, and Bonolo will step in now. So Lawrence Mass hanging on now. They have 2 outs in the bottom of the third, first and third now. It's West at first and Livingston on third. And the lefty Bonolo now falls behind 0-1.
Got that nice breeze over here, blowing all of our stat
Nick,
sheets away.
You look out in right field, that pole for the flag is actually moving a little bit. And that thing waves proudly. What a beautiful sight here. I really want to see someone hit that Percy's big screen blast, though.
I want to know how big the TV is that
yeah,
they're giving away.
Is it a 50-inch or a 70? Curveball blocked in the dirt. Great job by Chaco. And West a little upset there at first, as he knows he should have read that. Try to get over there, and
Got to be careful though, because Chaco has a really good arm behind the plate there.
Yep.
And Livingston is not one of the fastest.
That ball gets by Chaco. Livingston able to get in there, and now West tries to go. Oh, that was a bad job. And the coach, look at him.
Yep.
He's like, "What are you doing? Taking you out of the inning." But West gets greedy there, as
Sometimes you just, you get excited. You see the ball's back,
Yep.
Let that run come in. Now you got a man on second base.
Would have been a different story if he had thrown it over the third baseman's head.
Yep.
So we're going to have to, Bonolo got left at the plate, right?
Yes, he did.
So a run scores. So it's now 4-2. Lawrence Mass leads 4-2 over Shrewsbury. And there were no hits in that inning. There was an error, a fielder's choice, a hit by a batter, and another fielder's choice, which enables the score 1 run because there was a wild pitch on the play, which scored Livingston. So Livingston scores on a wild pitch in the bottom of the third, and Shrewsbury able to chip away. They score 1 run in the bottom of the third. We'll be back with Sporting News CT, and we'll be back after these American Legion messages.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
Well, we're back here. This is Jim Vartels with Nick Lemire, and a big cut from number 9, Ivanson Batista. Yeah, he's going to step in now, the lefty. And we're here perched up behind the plate in the press box, and that ball hit down the right field line. It'll be foul. Livingston, wow, makes the play, too. He grabs that one.
Yeah, that was a nice grab.
He scored that last time on a wild pitch.
Yeah.
So Shrewsbury able to chip away after Lawrence Mass scores 4 runs in the top of the third. Score is now 4-2, and Mike Bean will pitch to Ivanson Batista. That down the right field line and foul. Man, that just curved foul. I thought that was going to drop in there.
He missed that by about 1.5 feet.
Yeah.
Goes down into the bullpen over there.
And that's Mike Bonolo that will retrieve the ball and toss it in from deep right field. That one could have been trouble.
It's not so deep over there.
Well,
as deep as you can get down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, 313. It reminds you kind of like Yankee Stadium, man.
Yeah.
Little short porch.
That ball dribbled down the left field line towards the third base dugout.
That fence down there, though, it looks like it's about 10 feet, though. You know, you got to get it up there.
Up there, yeah. No, you're right. So that's got to be hit a little farther than 313. I bet it goes right to the bottom of the fence.
Yeah.
So you got to hit that like 320 at least. That ball high and upstairs for ball 1. So it's 1-2 now to Ivanson Batista, the right fielder. The last couple innings, Lawrence Mass able to get guys on.
Yeah, they had
lead off.
Big last inning. You know, they almost batted through the order. Just 2 guys. They had the 2 Batistas.
Yeah.
The only 2 that didn't bat in that inning. Yeah.
It'll be Ivanson, John Batista. That ball hit up the middle. It'll be a tough one for Conan. He'll go across the diamond. He gets it. So 6-3, and they're able to retire the first batter in the top of the 4th. It's 4-2, Lawrence Mass. The center fielder, John Batista, he'll step in now.
Yeah, last inning for Lawrence, you know, they got a guy on for made an error. And then,
that one in there for a strike.
You know, they were able to bring the guys around, a couple fielders' choices, a beautiful 2 RBI hit.
That foul down the right field line, so John Batista falling behind early. And if you're watching this game on YouTube, you're seeing it through our GoPro camera. That ball hit right at Livingston, and he'll make the easy second out as that's a pop up to the first baseman.
Yeah, a little flared. Looked like he kind of just threw his hands at it. A little pitch outside.
Yep.
Fortunately, gonna get it on the ground.
Now Luis Colon will step in. He reached on an error his first time up. Started that. Excuse me. He reached on an error in the third.
Yeah, I believe it came from the shortstop too, and then
that ball's popped up, and Chris Wright will call everybody off, and a lot easier than that last one. And
yeah, no backpedaling for this one.
1, 2, 3 go these Lawrence batters. So Mike Bean able to find that rhythm, and we're going to head into the bottom of the 4th where Shrewsbury Mass will try to chip away. So we'll be back after these American Legion messages.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson.
Well, we're back here, and Miguel Matos will try to find his rhythm and fend off these Shrewsbury batters. Mike Bonola was left at the plate last time as John West was thrown out at third. And Bonola will lead off in the top of the fourth, or bottom of the fourth. Check that. I'm looking over Miguel Matos, and he was 1-0. So he got the win against Nashua. He didn't even give up a run, Nick. So
That's a good outing.
yeah. He only walked one batter, gave up 2 hits, 6 strikeouts in his one appearance so far in the Northeast Regional. That ball hit down the right field line. It's going to be fair. And the first baseman of Verona will get to the bag, so that's a 3-U as he unassistedly got the out. Great play there by the first baseman, Christian Verona. So Bonola retired easily in the bottom of the fourth, and now Chris Wright will come up. He's the second baseman, and followed by him will be Christian Siciliano, the catcher. Pitch from Matos. Fouled off. It'll be 0-1. So there's one out. Nobody on, and if you're just tuning in, it's 4-2 Lawrence, Mass over Shrewsbury. Matos pitches. Hit to the second baseman, Pena. He'll make that easy play and toss it over. So just like that.
2 quick outs.
Yep, 2 quick outs.
Now batting the catcher, number 23, Christian Siciliano.
Siciliano's batting .667, Jim.
In this tournament?
In this tournament.
Wow. So he's hot.
He's on fire. You know, he's 9 at-bats, 6 hits.
He grounded out to the second baseman last time, so you got to think he's due now. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth, and Shrewsbury trying to get on and start this up with 2. That ball fouled back, and Siciliano falling behind, excuse me. Curveball outside, misses by a lot. So it's a 1-2. Scoreboard says 1-1. Maybe I'm wrong. Another curveball outside. It'll be 2-1. I don't know. I think these guys on the scoreboard are falling asleep. Oh, there we go. Now it's 2-2, so I was correct. That ball hit down the left field line, but foul. So only 2 hits for this Shrewsbury, Massachusetts team. They're trying to chip away now as they had an early lead. That ball ripped down the left field line and
keeps pulling it down there. I keeps almost getting it in the tarp, the pipe that they roll it around. He keeps almost getting it into the middle there.
Well, if you're the defense, you kind of want to shift that way as he's pulling it. Great turnout here for the championship game at Hanover Insurance Park. Beautiful day for baseball on this Sunday. That ball fouled back, out of play.
You know, this is actually a very productive at-bat. You know, you're getting him to throw pitches. As we know, there's a pitch count in American Legion. So, you know, you keep following these balls. They had 2 quick outs, so now you got to make him throw some pitches.
That's inside, so 3-2. And yeah, Nick, we always say that when the hitter continues to foul off pitches, it eventually benefits him. And how many strikes can the pitcher really throw? So the odds are against him as you see that one's ball 3. So the pitch, full count from Matos, is hit the deep left field. Will it beat the left fielder? No, it will not. And Luis Colon will run that one down. So mark that in F7. And just like that, Miguel Matos gets a 1-2-3 inning. So no hits, no errors, no runs, nobody left on base. And we're heading into the top of the 5th here at Hanover Insurance Park. We'll be back after these American Legion messages.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Well, we're back, and number 13, the DH Luis Mejia will step in now. So it'll be 9-1-2 for this Lawrence Mass team in the top of the 5th. That's swung on and missed. And you know, Nick, it's pretty cool though with this GoPro camera, our soundboard, our computer, and we're able to broadcast this game live as that gets by the catcher. It'll be 1-1, and
yeah,
you know,
the GoPro camera does a good job at capturing, you know, this stadium. It's a great facility. It's great for, you know, these young athletes to get out here and play on a nice ball field.
that ball popped up into shallow right field, and the second baseman will go back and get it, Chris Wright. So a P4, and now the top of the order will come up. And you know, we always used to joke around. We'd be sitting down watching a baseball game at home, or we'd be hanging out, and we'd be like, oh, fly ball hit the right field. Nick, what did you think about that one? And now we're here actually calling a game.
Yeah.
So Kebler Peralta will step in now, the lefty. He's the shortstop, and he was quick on the bases. He scored in that big 3rd inning. And another one outside, so Bean falling behind 2-0 now, and there's 1 out, nobody on. Peralta at the plate, you do not want to put him on. Swung on and missed, and now it's 2-1.
Yeah, Peralta scored in that 3rd inning there.
He's speedy. That ball hit to the second baseman. Wright will backhand it, throw it over to Livingston, and they'll get the second out here.
Looks like another quick half inning that we're going to get here, huh? Let's see
Yeah.
if Lawrence can get a
Both
couple men on
pitchers.
base. Yeah.
You know, this has kind of been a pitcher's duel, Nick. Not that much offense.
No, I mean, that 3rd inning that Lawrence had there, you know, was huge. They got those 4 runs, but other than that, it's been a pitcher's duel.
Yeah, and Pena will step in. He's 2 for 2 on the day. He had a big RBI, 2 RBI single there in the 3rd, and that ball popped up, and Livingston will call for it, and he catches that one. So
Got to catch the ball with 2 hands there, though.
yeah, you always got to be careful. So a 1-2-3 inning, no hits, no errors, no runs, and nobody left on base. And Shrewsbury will come up in the bottom of the 5th and try to chip away at this 4-2 deficit, And as the music comes on and the Lawrence Mass takes the team, you got to think the Shrewsbury team coming down to only 9 more outs, so they're going to have to get it earlier sooner than later, right? And we'll head into the bottom of the 5th after these messages.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the
Well, God Bless America just played over the public address announcers and system. And
Yeah, that was one of the slower versions I've ever heard, though.
yeah, and you know, you got to appreciate it. And Nick, earlier on in this tournament, you know, was in here by myself and trying to figure everything out, working the technical stuff, and the God Bless America came on, and I look up, and every single ball player was looking out at that flag, and it was like one of those moments where you're like, wow, like, you know, they stopped on a dime to respect our country, and, you know, all these guys playing American Legion, and, you know, how much respect they have for Legionnaires, veterans, soldiers that are now serving, veterans or fallen soldiers, you know, and it's just an awesome atmosphere here. And Matos trying to get back into that groove, so that'll be ball 1, though.
This is going to be only Hopping second at bat here. He has his at bat in the second inning. Popped out to the center fielder.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's ready to get a hit.
Yeah, Hopping 0 for 1 on the day. He steps in. Swung on and missed, so now 1-1.
Got a pretty significant breeze consistently over here, too, you know?
Yep.
Seems like the wind's blowing from left to right field.
Yeah, and almost a little bit in. It's coming in through our press box, you got to think. But it looks like it's going out towards right field. Look at that American flag wave.
You know, these lefties or righties, for that matter, if they can get one up there towards the right field fence.
Swung on and missed, and Hopping upset about that one.
That's our first strikeout of the day.
Yeah, Matos gets his first one. But, you know, I used to play the outfield, Nick, and what we would always do is pick up some grass, throw it in the air, and see where the wind takes it to make sure you know. And you'd want to do it almost before every at-bat because you never know. It could change. You always want to know that when you're tracking down a fly ball. And Ryan Conant, the shortstop, will step in now. There's one out, nobody on, and that ball hit at the third baseman, Guerrero. He'll vacuum that one up, throw it across the diamond, and that's an easy 5-3. So now 2 quick outs for Miguel Matos, and him really finding that rhythm, Nick. And you know, he gave up.
These pitchers are settling in.
Yeah.
You know, they're not throwing many pitches now. You know, these guys are swinging the bats. They're just hitting them right to the infielders or to the outfielders. You know, Guerrero did a great job staying down on that ball there. Went down to one knee, stayed down, hopped up a little bit, but, you know, he was ready to field that ball.
Yeah,
and was able to do so.
Bunton will step in, the leadoff for Shrewsbury. He's been on both times today. He singled and reached on an error, so he's 1 for 2. He hits from the left side, and Matos will deal. That pitch on the outside corner. strike one, so evens it out 1-1. So there's 2 outs, nobody on, and Lawrence Mass in the field. They lead 4-2 if you're just tuning in. That curveball popped up, and Guerrero will not backpedal, he'll grab it, and he makes the play. Great job running and catching that one. So again, a 1-2-3 inning for Matos. It's his second one now, and no hits, no errors, no runs, and nobody left on base. We're gonna head into the top of the 6th here at Hanover Insurance Park. I'm Jim Vartelis, and I'm here with my buddy Nick Lemire, and we'll be back after these American Legion messages.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. Today,
Well, we're back. It's 4-2. Lawrence Mass leads at the top of the 6th here, and looks like number 19. I think that's the third baseman, Brian Guerrero. He'll step in now, and Lawrence Mass not able to get anything going. They scored all 4 runs in the 3rd, and you got to think, Nick, 2 runs is not enough to fend off Shrewsbury. They might come back in these next 2 innings, but
You know, Matos has been pretty solid out there on the mound. If he could just keep getting
that
those
ball
1,
hit
2,
at the first
3s.
baseman, Livingston, and he'll take it himself. So 1 quick out here, as that's a unassisted play by the first baseman, Livingston. You're right, though, Nick. Matos just really flawless besides the 1st inning and the 3rd inning, and only giving up 1 run in each of those.
Yeah. He was good. You know, that 3rd inning was tough for him. You know, now he's got Verona up. 2 for 2 on the day. He had that big RBI double.
Yep, and that ball in the dirt will be 1-0 to Christian Verona. He's 2 for 2 on the day. He singled and then had a RBI double. But you're right, Bean had that 1 bad inning, Nick, and that's what I said earlier. I was like, you know, you just got a deep breath, say, this is my 1 bad inning, and hope that his team can, the bats come alive, and they're going to be down to 6 more outs, and they'll push the 2nd game if they don't. That ball in the outside corner. And, you know, we talked to those young gentlemen early on, if you go back to the beginning of our live stream, and we talked to McDonald, McSweeney, and I think it was Aubin, and they were like, this Lawrence Mass team is one of the scrappiest teams they've ever played, and that ball hit the 3rd baseman. Hopping will grab it and throw it over. Keep calling him Topping, but it should be T-Hop. You know, I'll give him a little nickname here. I actually know a guy named Ron Topping, so that's probably why I'm saying it.
Yeah, the infielders, you know, for both sides have they've had a lot of action, a lot of ground balls this game.
Yeah, a lot of balls put in play, not a lot of given things like hit by batters or walks.
Yeah, only 1 hit by batter. There hasn't been a walk yet.
No, not 1 walk, huh?
Only 1 strikeout.
Great
so,
pitching
I mean,
here.
It's absolutely great pitching, and you know, to have a 4-2 game, so you got a little interesting out there on the bases. And
yeah, so now it's 4-2, nobody on, 2 outs for Checo, and he hits that into the left center gap. Looks like Morguera will come on, and he'll make that play. So a 1-2-3 inning for Bean, and as we said, both pitchers able to work their magic the last couple innings, and it'll be a 4-2 Lawrence Mass lead as Shrewsbury comes in the bottom of 6th, and they'll be down to their last 6 outs. They're going to try to chip away or tie this one up, And we'll be back at Hanover Insurance Park after these important messages.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Life in the military.
Well, we're back here, and TJ Morguera is going to lead off the bottom of the 6th. That pitch high, so it's 1-0, and Shrewsbury down to the last 6 outs. And Nick, last time these teams played, it was 3-3 going into the 7th, and they went into extras. Shrewsbury able to score in the 8th inning, and they got the win, 6-4. That curveball in there for a strike. So both these games that they've played have been so close. And if Lawrence Mass can hold them off, there'll be that if game, and the winner will go on to Shelby to play in the World Series.
Got to be an awesome experience, for these guys. Get to travel.
Yep, and that ball hit down the left field line.
They get a lot of these players, if they're not in college or they're just graduating high school, they're going to be playing next year. They get to experience playing in front of a little crowd, Yeah. You can play on a great ball field. And
that ball hit at the third baseman, Guerrero. He'll throw it across the diamond, and Verona will catch that one. So 5-3. TJ Morguera goes down to make the first out, and Matt Livingston, who could change this game with one swing, but nobody on here for Livingston.
Livingston is also batting .667 like Siciliano, and he's 8 for 12, and he's got 14 RBIs. He's got 9 more RBIs than the next guy.
That ball hit the right center gap. That'll get in there for a base hit, and it gets by Ivinson, and John Batista will pick it up. He'll throw it in. Cut off by Pena, so that'll be a single, and then an error by the right fielder. Advances the runner. So now Shrewsbury able to get a man on second with 1 out here for the big John West. And Nick, I'll tell you right now, John West could change this game with 1 swing. I've seen people poke it out of here out of left field. So, and John West yesterday hit the ball so hard, like. He's hitting hard line drives, and all he needs to do is get a hold of one of them.
This game could be all tied up.
Yeah, and
only 1 out. You got your guy on second base.
And you're gonna have to see how Matos reacts now, as he hasn't had to deal with anybody the last 2 innings with runners on. And
it's been quick.
That ball's low, ball 1. So Shrewsbury now knocking at the door with a runner in scoring position. They're down 4-2. I'm Jim Vartelis with Nick Lemire. We're calling this game at Hanover Insurance Park, and this one's going to be coming down to the wire. That ball fouled off, so 1-1 now as traffic starts to move out there on that highway, Nick. I'd love to see John West just poke one out onto that highway.
That would be something to see, huh? Livingston's the only guy on the team that's got any home runs in this tournament so far. He's got 2.
John West is like, oh, what's that guy Nick talking about? And he hits that ball in the gap. I told you he hits that ball hard, and Livingston will be held up. So a single by John West. And now first and third as the crowd comes alive here. The host team, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. You hear the air horn going off on our crowd mic, and they've got action here as the lefty, Mike Bonolo, will come up. He's 0 for 2 on the day. He popped up to the first baseman and had a ball hit at the third baseman, which was unassisted. Now, you got to think now, Nick, he hit it both times at the first baseman. Verona, will hold West. And it's first and third. Big hole in the right side now for Bonolo. That curveball just misses outside as Matos tries to get an off-speed pitch over for a strike, but misses. And we got action here, Nick.
We do. This is getting very exciting. You know, it'd be nice to see him put a ball down the right field line. See if West can make it over to third.
Remember, West had that running error earlier. You got to think that's in his mind. That gets by. They're going to say it's fouled off. Wow, it was. So 1-1 now. Almost looked like that got by the catcher, Checo, but fouled. And West will be on the red base. Livingston on the blue base. First and third.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't shifted the second baseman over a little bit. Like you said, he already grounded out to the
big hole on the right side.
Went to the first baseman twice.
You know, that's why you always like to have a lefty in your lineup, Nick. If you get that guy on first, first baseman has to hold the runner. That pitch outside, ball 2, so 2-1. And you are able to put Bonolo on, but that'll load the bases here for Chris Wright.
Yeah,
who's 1 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, you don't want to walk. You don't want to walk him if you're Matos right here.
Now it's 3-1. He does fall behind, and both corners now up. They'll go home with it, and coach is gonna have a little conference here with Matos and his defense.
Calm him down a little bit. Get him to relax. You know, he's been pitching great. The last 2 innings, you know, were 1, 2, 3. He's just got to get back into that groove, throw strikes. But the Shrewsbury team, though, you know, they put the bat on the ball, so it's tough. You know, you can't just throw it down the middle because these guys will punish the ball, you know.
We'll see how they react here.
Yeah, they're not warming anyone up down in the bullpen yet either, so they obviously have some faith in Matos and what he can do out there on the mound.
Matos pitched 6 innings in that win against Nashua, New Hampshire. Didn't give up any runs. And, you know, you got to think coach is talking over about what they're going to do. Maybe try to turn the double play here and get out of this, because if you do turn the double play, you're out of the inning.
Yeah.
Paul LaFleur here, looking over our shoulders. He's been here all weekend, and that ball 4 puts Bonolo on, and now the base is loaded for Shrewsbury. Chris Wright will come up with the bases loaded and 1 out, and you got to think the corners are going to be up, Nick. They'll go home with it to get the force out, and the middle infielders will play that double play ball, try to get him out of this inning. So Bonolo on first, West on second, Livingston on third, and now Chris Wright, the second baseman, steps in, and he hits that ball in the right field, shallow. Ivanson Batista will come on. Livingston's going to tag. Wow, and he doesn't go. He should have went. It was a little off. Almost hit the bat.
Yeah, that's tough, though, to judge, you know. Livingston there on third base in shallow right field. You know, you don't know where that throw's going to be, and you really don't want to make that second out or that third out at home plate, you know.
Yeah, and Christian Siciliano will step in now. And he's 0 for 2 on the day. He grounded out to second and flew out to left.
If Matos gets out of this inning, this is a huge moment for him.
Yeah, Nick, there's 2 outs, bases loaded.
Yeah.
Pitch from Matos. Hit that left fielder. Guerrero will bobble it. And wow, Livingston comes in to score. So now 4-3.
We'll have to see how they score that, because that was a hot shot. You know, he tried.
And oh my God, look down the right field line. Siciliano looks hurt. I don't know what happened.
No.
Because we were watching the play, I didn't see it. He's face down and does not look okay.
His leg, I would assume. Maybe he fell trying to run over the bag.
Maybe he pulled something.
Looks like he pull. Looks like they're trying to stretch him out down there.
All right, well, we hope he's okay. We're going to go to a little break here as Shrewsbury able to chip away, get one run here in the bottom of the 6th. We hope he's okay. We'll be back.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
Well, we're back here in Christian Siciliano. He stands up and tries to stretch that leg as there are no re-entries. He's the catcher. I think that's going to affect him, but it looks like he's going to stay in. He's going to jog down the right field line, and they're going to give him a hit on that as that ball was hit hard at Guerrero, Nick.
That's a tough hop to get. You know, it hit the palm of his glove. You know, at that point, you're really trying to protect your face and, you know.
Yep. All you got to do is try to block it and knock it down.
And he did it the right way. You know, Guerrero's been playing great at third base over there. You know, he stayed down. He saw that ball hopping up, and then he brings the glove up. And unfortunately, you know, just can't get it into the web of the glove. It hit him in the heel. So.
Yeah, Nick. And now the score 4-3. Shrewsbury is able to get one now. Let's see if they can get another one as. Oh,
it's getting windy out there. Coach just lost his hat. Lost his scorecard.
What did Wright do? He walked, right?
Right now, he popped out to the right fielder.
Okay, so.
The third baseman, number 7, Tyler Hopping.
That's where I missed it. So, I'm trying to recap this inning for you guys as you're just tuning in. Livingston started off with a single. It got by the right fielder, Iverson Batista. He advanced on the air. And a single by West. A walk by Bonolo. A pop up to right. And then now a single by Christian Siciliano. Scored a run. So Siciliano coming up and getting that RBI single gets Shrewsbury one more run. And now Tyler Hopping, the third baseman, will step in with the bases loaded, no out, or 2 outs, excuse me. Fouled straight back, so you have Siciliano at first. You got Bonolo at second, and now West at third because Livingston scored.
We got ourselves a 1-run game here. 0-2 count. Bases are loaded.
Yep, and Mato's trying to get out of this one. There's 2 outs. I don't know what Checo was doing there. He stood up.
Yeah, I think he was saying, don't throw this ball down the middle.
Yeah. So it's 1-2, and everybody on the grass or deeper playing back, so they don't want to let anything through. They have a force all around. The batter Hopping will T-hop, which I like to call him, calls time. Maybe these guys will watch it later. I created a nickname for him, T-hop. That ball dribbled past or right at the pitcher. He throws it. Matos makes a great play. I thought it almost got by him, as we've seen that play be difficult for the lefty, but Matos able to get that one. So a 1-3, and they're out of it, but not before 1 run scores. So 3 hits, 1 error, 1 run scored, and 3 guys left on base for Shrewsbury in the bottom of the 6th, and we'll have a 4-3 ball game going into the top of the 7th, and this one's coming down to the wire. I'm Jim Vartelis with Nick Lemire. We're with Sporting News CT, and we'll be back after these American Legion messages.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice, and for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to Legion.
Well, we're back here in the top of the 7th. It's 4-3. And Bean falls behind 2-0 now to Ivanson Batista, as Lawrence, Mass knows that Shrewsbury will be coming up in the bottom of the 7th. 1 run might not be enough, and that one in there for a strike. 2-1. And Nick Bean today pitching perfect. He only gave up 6 hits. They have 5 on the scoreboard. I don't know. Fouled off. Now it's 2-2. I have 6. I don't know what you have. No walks, no hit by batters, and he hasn't struck anybody out yet. He's given up 4 runs.
Yeah, I got 6 hits too, Jim. No hits in the last 3 innings, though.
That ball hit up the left field. It'll be shallow. Will Bunton make the play? He does, as both third baseman and shortstop run over there, as even T-Hop's hat falls off. So being able to retire Ivanson Batista early on. It always helps to get that first out, Nick. And now John Batista will step in. That ball hit to the center fielder, TJ Morguera. He's going to make the diving catch. And wow.
Wow, what a play.
Yeah, and Morguera showing
impressive.
off.
I mean, full extension. You know, you don't want to give up any more runs. You know, you want to keep the lead to 1, come up in the bottom of the inning, and that's a good way to help your team out. You lay it out.
We really don't know what Bean's pitch count is right now, but you got to think now he's facing the last batter in the 7th inning. He's going to be able to face him. That pitch in there for a ball. So 2 quick outs here. And Shrewsbury looking to go in and hit in the bottom of the 7th. Tie it up or get the lead. That ball hitting the right center gap. It's not going to get by the right fielder, Mike Bonolo. He's going to get that one in quickly, so cut off. He stops the damage there, so a 2-out single by Luis Colon. Now Luis Mejia will step in. He's the DH. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He had a single and a pop up to the second baseman, so 4-3. We're in the top of the 7th here at Hanover Insurance Park. We got 2 outs, man on first. The pitch from Bean is outside, ball 1.
Got to give it up to this umpiring crew for this game today. They've been on top of it. Plate umpire's been very
no
consistent.
bad plays, and you know they're doing their job. And you know we got 4 umpires here.
Yep.
They're doing a great job. You're right, Nick. That ball in the dirt.
We were talking last night as we were hanging out in this beautiful Worcester City. You know about how Major League or independent leagues are trying out. You know the umpires have an earpiece and it's all computerized. Yeah, balls and strikes.
And, you know, that'll change the game a lot. And, you know, we were talking about how it might affect the strike zone and, you know, those bang-bang plays. And that one will be in there for a strike. Siciliano doing a great job of framing it. And you got to think about that, too. You know, framing is an art as a catcher.
Yeah.
And if it's a computer, how do you, like, you know what I mean? How do you discrepant between that ball hit down the left field line? It'll be foul.
but you know, at this level of play, you know, they'll never have the computerized strike zone because I gotta assume that technology isn't very cheap, you know.
Yeah. Definitely. Everything costs money.
Yeah, I actually heard a commercial. They were saying, you know, this technology tracks missiles, so.
That ball hit at the second baseman right. He's just going to go to first, get the easy out. So 1 hit, no errors, no runs, and 1 man left on base. And now Shrewsbury will try to tie it up or get the win in the bottom of the 7th.
Or they push to the next game.
Or they push to the next game. That is also an alternative. But this Lawrence Mass team has played a great game, Shrewsbury as well. And we're here with Sporting News CT. We'll be back after these messages. We're heading into the bottom of the 7th, and we'll be back.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can.
Well, we're back here. I'm Jim Vartelis with Nick Lemire doing the color commentating, and you know, the Shrewsbury team comes up in the bottom of the 7th. The score is 4-3, and the crowd, did somebody knock over our crowd mic? They didn't, but they're starting they're getting loud. And that ball hit up the middle. Tough play for Peralta. He bare hands it. Wow. Oh man. And you know, when you go back and look at this game, you're gonna have to check out that one. Wow. That looked like it was gonna get through. Ryan Conant hits the ball up the middle, and Peralta bare hands it, throws it over, Nick.
That popped off the bag, didn't it?
That did. Yeah. Well, it did something. It went up the lip, or it went up the mound, then hit that lip and went over the bag. He barehanded it up the middle and threw it over. So a 6-3. So it'll be 9-1-2 here, and Sean Bunton, the leadoff, will come up. That one over there for a strike. And Nick, these fans today, they've been here all day for this championship game.
And they came out to a good one.
Yeah, they did.
Very exciting, you know.
It's 1-1 now to Bunton.
You got Lawrence trying to stay in this tournament, and you know, you got Shrewsbury who's trying to take it home.
Yep, and that one's in there for a strike. I think it's 1-1. I think the scoreboard's wrong. Could be wrong. I could be wrong though. There's one out now, nobody on. Swung on and missed, and they'll get away from Checo. They'll have to throw it down, and they're able to get that one. So now Shrewsbury down to their last out. It's 4-3, and TJ Morgera will step up. He's 0 for 3 on the day. He got on by an error in the first inning, hit into a fielder's choice, and then grounded out to third. So if Morgera can get on, you'd get Livingston up, who could change this game with one swing of the bat. That one in there for a strike. 0-1. So Matos dealing, and you know, Checo telling his defenders where to play.
Matos, you know, like we were talking when the coach went out there in the middle of the inning to talk to him. You know, settle down, you're throwing great.
That curveball hit at Peralta. He's going to vacuum that one up, toss it over, and Lawrence Mass able to get the win. As you see them come out of their dugout, they're excited. They just pushed Game 2.
Pumped, Jim. They are pumped.
And now we're going to see a game 2. But
Oh,
overall, a great game here. You know, Shrewsbury took a 1-0 lead in the first. Then Lawrence Mass, with the only inning they scored, the third, they score 4 runs in the top of the third. Shrewsbury chips away one in the bottom of the third, then chips away another one in the sixth, and looked like it was going to be a close one here in the seventh, which it was. It was 4-3, but Matos gets a 1-2-3 inning in the seventh. You know, Nick, looking back at this game, we're going to have to look at that big third inning where 5 runs were scored, right?
4 runs.
4 runs were scored. Well, 5 total, 1 by Shrewsbury and 4 by Lawrence. And, you know, it all started off, right, with
Cologne got on with that air.
An error, a Cologne error. Then a single by Mejia, a fielder's choice. Then Pena with a big 2 RBI single. Fielder's choice, then a double RBI for Christian Verona, and then another single RBI by Checo.
Yeah.
So you got to look at Verona, though, Nick. He was 2 for 3 with an RBI, and Pena was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs.
Yeah.
You know,
they had those the middle of the lineup there in the second and third inning. You know, they strung together a couple of hits. You know, they got those runs in the third inning.
Yeah.
And that's huge for that ball team. You know, that's what got them this game.
Yeah, Mike Bean will get the loss. He gave up 6 hits and no walks, no hit by batters, no strikeouts, gave up 4 runs. And the winning pitcher will be Miguel Matos. He's 2-0 in this Northeast Regional. And we're going to have to look over his stuff, Nick. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits.
Yeah.
So he only gave up 5 hits. Bean gave up 6, so it was a close game. But you got to go look up at the scoreboard, and even this Lawrence team, they committed 4 errors, Nick, and, you know, still able to get the win.
You know, it's how often do you see that? You know, you make 3 more errors than the other team. You know, they did only lose by 1 run. You know, but they had a rough beginning of the game. You know, their infielders had a little trouble, a couple bad throws here and there. But you know what? They really settled down. Matos did a great job. You know, it got scary a little bit when, you know, he had bases loaded there in the 6th inning, but you know, he came through and finished the game out for his team.
Nick, you mentioned Miguel Matos, and you know, what a great performance by him. You know, only giving up 3 runs to the Shrewsbury team, who has a lot of firepower, and this will be a real interesting second game, and whoever wins this will be the Northeast Regional representative. And they will go to Shelby and play in the American Legion World Series. So I'm Jim Vartelis. I'm here with Nick Lemire, and we're with Sporting News CT. We'll be back for our second game, and Lawrence Mass will most likely be the home team, and Shrewsbury will be the away team, as they'll flip-flop in the second game. And we'll be back. So as I said, Lawrence Mass defeats Shrewsbury 4-3. We'll be back later on. Thanks for tuning in.